Welcome to Dr. Katina Talks, the podcast where we explore the journey to a more fulfilling, balanced, and meaningful life. I'm your host, Dr. Katina, and today I want to talk about the things we gather without even realizing it. I'm not talking about the things on our shelves, not the things hanging on our walls, the things we carry inside our bodies, our minds, and our identities. I've been blessed to travel to 55 countries. When people walk into my home, they can see traces of those journeys. You see art from the countries on the African continent that spoke to my heart. You see furniture and rugs from the many European countries where I lived and traveled. And you will also notice a few quiet touches from countries across the Asian continent. Every artifact has a story. Every piece reflects a moment that shaped me. But our homes are not the only places decorated with the countries we've traveled. We are decorated too. There is a part of our lives we seldom acknowledge, the things that settle on us without our permission. Our minds and our bodies hold on to experiences the same way our homes do. Little pieces of people, little fragments of moments, some of them intentional, some of them accidental, some of them joyful, and some of them heavy. One example I experienced about 4 years ago when I was making a transition with my hair. During this time, I made a decision, and I wanted to wear my hair in a way that reflected my identity and the internal changes I was experiencing. I decided to get locks, and if you know anything about that journey, the first few years require patience, courage, and a whole lot of faith. Working in academia, standing in front of college students every day, and understanding the importance of being polished, I did not always feel confident in those early stages. Some days my locks looked like an unkempt wet chicken that had been half plucked. I would look in the mirror, do the best I could to style them before walking out the door, and remind myself to carry a positive attitude even if I did not feel aligned with my reflection. During this time, I was learning a different kind of external beauty. I was learning how to style my newly locked hair, and I held on to the encouragement from women and the online videos I was watching because they were further along than I was. They always said the same thing: stay the course, trust the process. One day, when I was feeling especially self conscious, a woman stopped me in the store. She told me to trust the process. She said I was beautiful, and she said my hair was beautiful. Her words gave me strength I did not know I needed that day. It helped that she also had locks, long, mature, and beautiful. She represented what was possible. And because of that moment, I never miss an opportunity to encourage someone who is new to their lock journey. I understand the power of these small encounters. They stay with you. They help you. They help you to keep going. They settle into your spirit exactly where you need them. These are the fingerprints of strangers who become part of our emotional collection, but those are the good ones. We also collect the things we did not ask for: unhealthy relationships, disappointments that linger, old heartbreaks, childhood wounds from growing up in homes that shaped us long before we knew what shaping was, moments that made us shrink, words that made us doubt. We can be out of a relationship for many years and still carry the tone of it, still carry the insecurity it created, still carry the behaviors we learned inside it. We forget that 18 years in our parents' homes shaped us deeply. So, of course, a 5 year relationship or a 12-year friendship would shape us too. These things do not disappear just because the relationship ended. They become part of our identity until we consciously create space to release them. When I first started traveling throughout the continent of Africa, something shifted in me. I found pieces of myself I did not even know were missing. I fell in love with the African art, tapestries, jewelry, and clothing. My home started to look different. My style started to look different. My sense of identity deepened. It was not that the European pieces I owned were no longer beautiful. They were. They just did not match who I was becoming. That is how life works. We grow, we evolve, we discover new layers of ourselves, and the things that once fit no longer reflect who we are. Some of the things we carry are beautiful reminders of who we have been. Some are old and heavy and outdated. Some belong to versions of ourselves we no longer are. Yet we keep them, not because they serve us, but because letting go requires honesty, and honesty asks us to face what we have avoided. Making room for what is next is not about pretending the past never happened. It is about acknowledging what no longer belongs in the rooms we are building for our future. As usual, I have 5 lessons for you. 1. Everything that touches you leaves something behind. We are shaped by more than major events. We are shaped by ordinary moments with ordinary people who cross our paths with extraordinary timing. A woman who affirms your natural beauty when you are unsure. A bus driver who greets you with kindness day after day. Every one of these interactions becomes a quiet part of our emotional DNA. 2. Your identity can outgrow what you once loved. There is nothing wrong with outgrowing things that were beautiful in an earlier season. The European art in my home was once a reflection of where I lived and what I loved at the time. It represented a chapter in my life that shaped me. But then Africa called me, Asia expanded me, travel deepened me, and slowly what once fit no longer matched the woman I was becoming. I was growing so quickly and so deeply that even the people around me would say things like, "You think you're African now, huh?" Because I began to identify with parts of myself I did not even know existed. My travels across the African continent awakened something in my DNA. It was a familiar unfamiliar, a recognition of self that I had no language for at the time. That is what growth does. It does not always look dramatic on the outside, but on the inside, something shifts, something opens, something aligns, and suddenly the things that once made perfect sense no longer reflect who you are becoming. Growth does not require shame. Growth requires honesty. 3. Unhealthy relationships leave emotional furniture behind. You can leave a relationship and still be carrying the tone of it. You can leave a childhood home and still be carrying the rules of it. You can end a friendship or leave a toxic job and still be carrying the wounds it created. These emotional artifacts sit in your internal rooms long after the people are gone. Acknowledge them, name them, then decide what deserves to stay and what needs to be released. 4. Letting go is not forgetting. It is choosing yourself again. We cling to outdated beliefs because they once protected us. We hold on to old versions of ourselves because they once kept us safe. Letting go is an act of courage because it requires us to see ourselves clearly and tell the truth about what is no longer working. It is possible to release the past without dishonoring it. It is necessary to release the past if you want to move forward. 5. Your next season cannot breathe inside a cluttered life. If you hear nothing else that I have said in this podcast because you're multitasking, please hold on to this. Your next season cannot breathe inside a cluttered life. New dreams need space. New healing needs room. New identity needs air. You cannot step into a new season while dragging outdated emotional furniture behind you. Clearing out is not about throwing things away. It is about making room for what aligns with who you are becoming. Everything you want is on the other side of space you intentionally create. Ask yourself this: what am I holding on to that does not match who I am becoming? What beliefs, habits, or emotional patterns feel like outdated furniture in a new season of my life? This is how you begin to make room for what's next, by honoring what shaped you, releasing what restricts you, and choosing what deserves to travel with you into your next chapter. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope something in this conversation helped you pause and see yourself with a little more honesty and compassion. Remember this: you are allowed to grow. You are allowed to release what no longer serves you. And you are allowed to make space for the life you deserve. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who may need it. Your next chapter starts with the space you are willing to create. But before we go, I want you to know that something special is coming in the next episode, just in time for the new year, when so many of us pause, reset, and realign our lives. I created something to walk with you as you release the old and make room for what is meant for you. I can't wait to share it with you. Bye for now.